Good morning here. Welcome to the Pigmaster channel. My name is Michael Wembo, the Pigmaster. So today is the 27th of May, 2025. We were called by a farmer in Chiyunga, Mukono, that has been having pigs for a long time. In fact, she has been feeding pigs for over the last 4 months. And guess what? Pigs never farrowed. So we are coming here today to find out what the challenge would be. But probably the pigs never conceived, and we need to do a pregnancy diagnosis using an ultrasound scan. So farmers out there always have a lot of challenges when it comes to poor heat detection, farrowing management, and also things to do within that docket. So join us today as we take you through the reasons and the major importance of scanning pigs, because if you do not really scan, or if you do not diagnose your pigs to find out whether they are pregnant or not, you are doomed to incur unnecessary costs. So dive in today as we do a scan and really find out, are the pigs pregnant or not? What went wrong? What should we do to avoid such a challenge? Hello here. Nice seeing you today. My name is Michael Wembo, aka the Pigmaster, and I'm the swine specialist of Kafika Animal Feeds, the sole distributors of cow dyes and more nutrition. I am a farmer, I am an educator, I am a trainer, and I am a facilitator. So looking at the first major reason as to why it's important to test for pregnancy in pigs is to ensure that a farmer takes a record of the non-productive days. You must ensure that the pig is either pregnant at the farm, lactating, that is breastfeeding, or it is in a row waiting insemination. So non-productive days are the days a pig is neither pregnant nor lactating. So after weaning a pig should return in heat around 3 to 7 days. So after 3 to 7 days, you must serve your pig. Non-productive days reduce the number of piglets per sow per year, and that has a direct effect on the revenue. Number two, it ensures that a farmer or a manager or any caretaker makes proper management and breeding decisions. For example, if a sow needs to be culled as early as possible, detecting early pregnancy or detecting open sows would help you to make an informed decision on whether to cull the sow or plan it to rebreed it. Just imagine feeding a sow for over 3 months and you realize later that it's not pregnant. There is a cost you've incurred in terms of veterinary services, in terms of labor, and most importantly, in terms of feed. It's quite a lot of feed that you have, lost. So making that decision is mainly dependent on the pregnancy diagnosis. Number three, there are some chronic diseases, for example, porcine sarcovirus, porcine parvoviruses. Those are reproductive diseases that are very evident at the time of patulation, at the time of farrowing, at the time of producing. That's when you see mummified piglets, stillbirth, and things of that kind. So whenever a pig does not conceive, it is thought to return in heat 18 to 21 days. There are circumstances where a pig returns on heat 28 days later, 35 days later. So that means the fetus or the litter was reabsorbed at a given time. So with such recurring return on hits that are so prolonged, 28, 35 days, it's an indicator that maybe there is a healthy problem. So the other important factor why it is important to do a pregnancy test is to plan for the proper nutrition. Different pigs, different stages, different ages, different physiological statuses, they require different nutrition. They require different nutrition and different nutrients. So when a pig is pregnant, it requires nutrition, number one, for its maintenance, and number two, for the fetus or the embryo that is developing within, the uterus. So that way, when you really establish the pregnancy as early as possible, as a manager, as a farmer, it helps you to plan for the proper diet and the proper ration. Moving forward, there are different methods we do use to carry out pregnancy or to detect pregnancy in pigs. The normal or the common ones, number one, farmers always do not see any return on heat. So 18 days later, 21 days later, the pig doesn't return in heat, and also it doesn't show any interest in the boa. Even when you expose it to the boa, there are not any vaginal discharges you can see at the vulva. So that is the best we can take, but it's not a conclusive method to tell that really the pig is pregnant. Number two, there are physical changes, body changes we always see. For a gilt at around the day 55, you can see the body trying to change in its physical and in stature. Also in sows on around day 80, there is an enlargement. So we have different diagnostic tools we can use to detect pregnancy in sows. One of them is the Pregton ultrasonography. For it uses or it reflects or it produces a sound that is can be interpreted by somebody who is a specialist and somebody who is experienced in differentiating the different sounds this Pregton makes. So with large litters, we can try or we can use the Pregton as early as 18 days. However, the most appropriate time is between 21 to 30 days post-service. The mode of operation of a Pregton. So it's important to know the site where you press your probe. Press it in the direction of a bladder. Bladders are always filled with urine, so you will always have that false pregnancy test because of the reflection of the urine in the bladder. So it's really very important to know the exact position of your probe for a proper diagnosis. So there is a loud continuous sound, and that is a positive indication that the sow is pregnant. Else, there is that intermittent recurring sound that shows the pig is not pregnant. So another tool we can use to detect or test pregnancy in sows is a real-time ultrasonography. It is a scanner. It's portable. You can handle it, you can move with it. The ideal time is 21 to 30 days. Then preferably for me, I always use the ultrasound scan on day 30. Why is it important? Because a farmer out there would ask, why is that time important? The mode of operation of this tool is they detect the accumulation of the amniotic fluid. And that happens if there is a fertilization has been successful, then we formed a zygote, then there is a placenta forming, and then there is an amniotic sac. So within the amniotic sac, we have amniotic fluid. So the refraction of these waves in the Pregton and in the scanner is because of the accumulation of the amniotic fluid. So before day 18, we have little accumulation of the amniotic fluid. So there is maximum at around day 24 to about day 28, 29, 30. That's when we have optimal amount of amniotic fluid that can be reflected back through a sound or through an image you see as black spots on your screen. So between 35 days and 50 days, it's not recommended to do a scan. Why? There is maximum fetal growth. And as the piglet becomes bigger, the amount of the amniotic fluid reduces. Therefore, if you do a test during that time, you can have a false pregnancy, round spots at the reflection of the amniotic fluid. So the more they are, it means the more litter we are expected to get. Sometimes when you see 2 or 3 of them, at times it could not be a pregnancy, could be persistent or ovarian cysts, all pseudo pregnancies. Sometimes the piglets, the litter size could be small, 4 or 3, about that. So the more the number of the black spots, the better our litter is. We have some other diagnostic tools. One of them is the Doppler. So serum analysis, we detect and do carry out a laboratory test for some hormones. Vaginal biopsy, we get a membrane from within the vagina and then carry out a lab test to find out whether the pig is pregnant. And the rectal palpation, that is going through the rectum, and then look for some physical changes in the body, and that takes an expert to do that. So in this video, we're going to focus on the ultrasound scan. The real-time ultrasonography is what we're going to focus on in this video and see how it is used and what really the farmer received. So we are going to find out whether Flavia is pregnant or not. It's important to remember that when you are positioning your probe, you position it facing the opposite side of the shoulder. So we are on the right side of our pig. Therefore, if you are positioning your probe, you make sure that you are facing the left of the front shoulder or limb. Devoid of that, you might end up pointing at the bladder and then you receive the reflection of the urine. So the sows we carried out PD test were negative, Flavia, and the sow, because we didn't see any reflection of the fetus. So we continued and looked at another sow that was pregnant. As you're gonna see on your screen, the round black spots that indicate the refraction or an image that comes due to the refraction of the amniotic fluid. But it's very important and you always remember to have accurate records, because PD scans are done in reference to records. So the PD scan is not feasible before 21 days, and also we discourage it between 35 and 50 days. Thank you for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to our channel so that we can always update you with current information. Pig Master once again, see you in the next video.